Initializing FakeNet.
Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network. To find the other excellent shows on the network, please go to greenlitpodcasts.com. If you enjoy listening to this podcast and want to hear more of it, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/retroam. Patrons get early access, bonus episodes, and access to all of our miniseries episodes, covering other JRPGs like Terranigma and Parasite Eve. Please visit us at patreon.com/retroam.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
If you'd like to check out all the hot sounds that we've recorded within the past 2 years, where would you go?
Patreon.com.
No. Retrogradeamnesia.com.
No slashes, just retrogradeamnesia.com.
Yes.
It lists all the beautiful content that we've created, both free and paid.
Yeah, go there. Click About. You can see everything that we've ever done. You can go there to check out all the hot sounds that we have recorded thus far in the past, 2 years, I guess, right?
18 months.
Speaking of hot sounds, would you like to hear some more hot sounds
Yes.
that I've recorded from Mark?
Shepard.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back, Season 3. This is Final Fantasy VIII. This time, we're uncloaking the garden's mask of fascism to uncover its seedy underbelly to expose the truth about the hot dog shortage. My name is Chris. I'm joined today by Eric. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris? I'm pointing at you with two fingers.
Yes, I'm right here. You're right there. We are now, what's the word? Object permanence.
That's right.
I guess.
United.
Yes, we are also joined today by an Afternoon RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live during the workday, apparently, because we're doing an afternoon podcast today. You too can join us at patreon.com/retroam.
To purge. We are also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion and computer presence we've injected 15 cans of compressed air into for this episode.
Initializing FakeNet.
I wasn't even dirty, and yet you assaulted me with your human chemicals.
Hi. Good to see you again, FakeNet.
What?
Make my voice normal, you chuds.
Oh, shit. We fucked up, Chris. That was helium.
Oh.
She's like 30% lighter.
It's not funny. I'm going to have a panic attack.
Oh, God.
Can the FakeNet actually get lighter if it's just a digital existence?
I think so.
Do
people...
digital existences have mass? You'd think that we would have discussed this during the Xenogears podcast, but...
I have an idea. FakeNet, do you have mass?
Initializing FakeNet.
I know you fainted onto the girl you like during mass in 6th grade, Eric. How's that for mass? Do you like the world knowing that shit?
Okay,
thanks. That fixes it.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, good. We're on the third episode of our Final Fantasy VIII series, and we've covered 2 screens or something of the game, but now we're about to get into this
Two
game
screens.
about, right? The infirmary and the classroom. Now we're going to go explore the remainder of Balamb Garden.
You are committing to Balamb Garden in one episode.
Yes.
That's what you're doing. All right.
Yes, we're going to at least finish Balamb Garden in this one today, and maybe even get to the Fire Cavern, maybe.
So we left off on giving Selphie the most half-assed tour of all time and the 6 o'clock position of this round garden.
Yes.
Now we're going to move on. What is it called? Clockwise?
Yes, clockwise from the starting location. We're going to move through and just explore this place, talk to people, see what's up, get some lore and some world building out here. Have we already met Jogging Kid, by the way?
We've referenced Jogging Kid.
Okay.
You can see them, I believe, I think Garden, its downward shot has 4 total screens.
Yeah.
And I think they'll appear on every one, but it feels like they move in real time.
Yeah.
Because that person also has the mini-mog card, and you have to, encounter them to get that. So if you're moving clockwise, the first place you'll get to is the Infirmary. Oh man, we just went to the Infirmary. Let's go back, Chris.
Yeah, we're back. We can now get a full view of this thing. I think the camera angle is different.
Yeah,
this time.
They did the Parasite Eve thing where they rendered the exact same location with 2 completely different camera angles, which that has to piss off some planners somewhere for dedicating resources for the exact same environment.
The more and more we talk about it, the more it feels like Parasite Eve was a test run for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everything in Square was an evolving technology at the time, and this was just the latest product of that. It wasn't until Chrono Cross they figured out, let's heal the player after every battle.
Yes. So now we're here. We're in this very sterile-looking room. There's a scale, a desk, a small cot, everything that you would imagine that would be in a school infirmary, right?
I would just amend you to say future desk instead of desk.
Yeah, that's a good
It's got
idea.
a circular monitor, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Got a warm light desk light and a fainting couch.
Yeah. Did you notice there's only 2, cot rooms here?
Yeah, I wonder if this is the thing where the students are so careful that they barely ever get injured, or if this is just like we're supposed to think of this as a small representation of a much larger area.
It seems like more than 2 people would be fucked up at a time at a military academy.
Chris.
But that's just me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean,
We also have Kuraga, maybe. Someone knows that
I
shit.
bet when they get fucked up on the battlefield that surgical services are contracted out to some other hospital far away. Like they don't do it on site.
The B2B.
Yeah,
Okay.
they get shipped out over there.
Gotcha.
Chris, we went to the same high school. How big was our infirmary, and were you ever there?
What did we have one?
We had like a administration office that you had to give your medicine to if you took medicine.
No, I think I would be too afraid that
I never went to it. I
that
don't-
somebody would make fun of me for being
Yes.
sick, 'Cause
for exposing weakness as a teenager.
yeah, it was weird.
Make fun of you for being sick.
Not the students, but the fucking asshole teachers that work there. Keep in mind, we went to a Catholic school. There was a lot of,
We went to a Catholic school a year before the pedophilia scandal was exposed.
So
Anyway, there's 2 medical carts full of doctor shit, some vaulted ceilings. Did you talk to Kadowaki again?
I did. She asked Squall how the forehead's doing, and I said, I've got a big fucking scar here, lady. That's pretty much it there.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Next, we're on to the quad.
Yeah, it's the north hallway.
Yeah.
The hallway exits to a multi-staired foyer,
Yeah.
with a big tree planted in the mid-stair landing. The girl we gave the tour to, supposed to be Selphie, walks up to Squall and asks if he can play an instrument.
Yeah, she starts pestering him nonstop. You can try to run away from her, but she just keeps catching up with you,
Yes.
asking you, hey, will you be my band? Can you play an instrument? You can just run in circles and ignore her.
You
and
can
it's
also
kinda
run
funny.
right through her. She's a ghost.
Yeah.
Only Squall can see her.
It seems like all of the moving students in the garden are translucent. Or not translucent, but
Don't have physics applied to their...
apparitions, yes.
This is there's a very popular theory about a certain character being dead after a certain point in this game, and this could be backdated evidence to support that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So water is flowing under the second landing for this place. It's like a rolling escalation of staircases.
Yeah.
And then there's a glass bed or something, and it creates a waterfall to yet another indoor pool below.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody really took their time to design this. At the bottom of it, there's a whole bunch of yellow pylons that prevent you from falling into the river and some benches and shit, but there's no what is this for? Why have an ornate staircase just because you can?
I think they're putting on a face. That's the whole point of everything that we see in Balamb Garden.
Okay.
The fish fountains and the waterfalls and everything is about putting on a face to let all of the students know that everything that we're doing here is normal and fine and for the good of mankind.
Okay, for all mankind.
Yes. Even that giant fucking halo above the thing.
Right.
All of that, I think it feels like it's built into the packaging of child soldiers.
In our world, this would be used to sell the parents of very good athletes on how nice their school is.
Mm-hmm.
But these kids, I don't think, we don't know if any of our friends have parents.
Right.
Where do these kids come from? Is this a Raiden situation where they're child soldiers being kidnapped and raised in captivity?
Yeah. Are they on farms? Are they being farmed?
Yeah.
Like a certain anime?
Produced.
Anyway.
So a girl is roller skating around the lower level. The flooring has ornamental tribal designs all over it, and I'm wondering if this is where what Zell got on his face, like those army guys who are really into the army and get army logos as tattoos.
Yeah.
There are 4 benches down here, and they're all kind of fucked up and disorganized, which I appreciate in this otherwise pristine school.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's hard to overstate the amount of manicured indoor vegetation present here. The only thing that I can compare it to, a place that both of us have been?
The mall?
Opryland.
Opryland? Have I been to Opryland?
Yes, we have our picture taken there for our friend Jason's wedding.
Oh, that was the hotel, but okay.
No, Opryland now is the hotel. They demolished the amusement park. The hotel now is Opryland.
What do you do when you want to get your Opry on? You go to Dollywood?
You go to the Grand Ole Opry.
Okay.
Part of Opryland. Opryland is a former amusement park in Nashville, Tennessee. Don't check it out. Selphie continued to pester Squall, asking if he's the one she met right outside the classroom earlier, 5 minutes ago. She tells him to come by and check out the stage if he's interested. Chris, this is a very super common thing in college, where people trying to get you to sign up for clubs and shit won't leave you alone. This leads to a screen with a massive, unfinished stage. There's a blue tarp out in front with all kinds of pipes and shit. There's also a stage that Squall can actually walk up and walk around on. There are 2 massive pastel pink and green horns, something. I have no idea. Some kind of ornamental stage decoration that are supported by both sides of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Off to the left are a bunch of paint cans, some caution tape, and a yellow banana surfboard thing
Cool.
that I think says "in garden" at the top end.
All this scene here confirms what we know from the message board or whatever, that the student council that was there to manage all this shit, they're all gone. They've been sent to war and
they did not finish.
They have died. Maybe. Who knows?
They've given up. Selphie is here again, and she says, "Are you interested in what I'm doing?"
Yes.
Chris, with Squall, are you playing Squall as you, or are you playing Squall as Squall?
I'm playing Squall as Squall, but occasionally I will tap into Squall's hidden personality.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I agreed to help her. What'd you do?
You can say interested or not interested. If we pick interested, she tells us to join the Garden Festival Committee. If you talk to her again, she'll ask Squall to join. And so, nah or sure. And you said you're interested?
Yeah.
I picked nah, and she said, why does everyone have to be like this?
That's great. She gets pretty excited if you agree to be in it, but it doesn't.
But are you like gaslighting her? You have no intention of doing this.
Of course
the
not.
Game doesn't.
No, of course not. I don't remember where this game goes, so if there's a payoff for this later, I'll be interested to see how it plays out.
I do know, I don't know if we said it last time, but the message board in your garden terminal in your classroom does update and change throughout the game.
Oh, interesting. Okay, is that going to be our new, like, you
D-Block Doctor?
Yeah.
Let's go check the message board
every
every
check
time.
in, guys. Checking the what was it called?
The posts.
The garden post or whatever it's called?
Garden, yeah, whatever that was.
I don't know. Okay, let's go to the cafeteria now.
Yeah, there's a red path that leads to the cafeteria.
Cafeteria looks like a cafeteria. Like, this is the most normal looking place here, I think.
It's somewhere in my notes, but it looks exactly like where I ate at my school, my college.
It does,
University of Louisville up there.
The sack.
Yes, it was called the sack, which never stopped being funny.
Inside, we are immediately encountered by a scene. A little bit of a scene. We see Fusion, who is a character that is we have not encountered yet, have we? Fusion?
No.
Speaking in all caps, talking to our boy Cypher, asking if Cypher wants a drink.
A drink.
A drink.
This is the disciplinary committee.
Yes.
Fusion spoke in all caps before it was cool.
Yeah.
Fusion and Rajan were the characters borrowed from Final Fantasy VII designs that were discarded, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Fusion is female. Her age is 17. That's all the information about Fusion in the Final Fantasy Ultimania. Thanks.
I would slot her into the angry goth archetype despite her bright-colored dress.
Yeah. This is out of context, but this book has memorable quotes from each character.
Oh yeah, what are Fusion's?
And obviously we're not going to
rage.
Yeah, we're not going to do too much of that because of spoilers. But in this case, I think we can do it out of context. Memorable quotes for Fusion: "Wimp, run." Thank you. Thank you for attending.
You're welcome.
Also, here is Rajan. Rajan is a male who is age 18, and one of his memorable quotes: "We're with Cypher."
You know.
These aren't Salt and Purpore level jokey characters.
No.
But they do serve as some sort of comic relief throughout the game.
Yeah, like in a lot of, I think Final Fantasy X-2 also had 2 supporting villains to support the main villain. Like there's a bunch of just comical lackeys that don't actually present a threat, but they have a presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Squall approaches and inserts himself in the group conversation. Cypher looks away and avoids eye contact while Rajan asks Cypher for permission to drink something. I'd like some water, you know?
Cypher's doing his cross-arm angry man pose, one of his main emotes. If you go and speak with Fusion at this point in time after Rajan talks about the water, Fusion says, "Ignore."
Yes.
Cypher still doesn't say shit. He just gives all dots.
The first time I played this, I thought they were setting up Fusion to be a secret robot. They would just start short-circuiting at some point in the story.
Is there some sort of linguistic tick that Fusion is assigned, or is it just this is a hilarious thing that we're doing for the localization?
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder what would be in the original Japanese.
Initializing fake net.
In the Japanese release, Fusion speaks exclusively in kanji characters.
It's like a shortcut to adding definition to a character. It doesn't actually build anything. It just kind of starts running.
Yeah.
I speak to Fusion, who delivers a perfect DMX what? Rajan then says Fusion is treating everyone and asks Squall if he wants anything. This makes Fusion yell her classic phrase,
"Ignore."
Rage.
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 She then walks over to Rajan and kicks him in the back of the calf. Fuck, dude.
I wrote literal ass, but that works too.
Literal ass.
It's pretty good.
Rajan screams in painful exclamation points. So that is another, I think, a villain archetype where they just constantly, they're the bro dudes who just punch each other in the arm all the time. If you speak to Cypher, he will say the disciplinary committee is busy and not to bother them. You speak to Rajan again, he'll say that Fusion is harsh at times, then not to bother her.
Can we talk about the disciplinary committee?
Sure.
What the fuck is that? The hall monitors?
I picture them as kind of, you know, the goons role on a hockey team. Not really good at hockey or school in their case, but they're there to like impose a threat because the teachers look kind of like, let's say, chicken wusses.
Yeah. Good point.
Like you just need like a hall monitor slash intramural cop.
Okay, so this is an official role. They're the designated snitches for this organization.
I mean, I don't know if it's official or not because there's all kinds of dumbass clubs you create for yourself in high school, right? Zoo Society, what's up? So out of nowhere, an exasperated Zell runs into the cafe and reaches the service counter. He puts his hands on his knees out of breath. He's heaving and hoeing, Chris, and then he says, "Are there any hot dogs left?" Someone named Cafeteria Lady, who looks like the lunch ladies that took care of me, tells him they're all sold out. Zell hangs his head and says, "Not again," and then resolves to try again next time.
He can't believe this shit.
No, he puts his hands on his lower back and slowly walks out of here. Everyone but Squall delivers a question mark exclamation point. Cypher then decides that Zell was speeding and vows to go arrest that student for violation of academy regulations.
Jesus Christ.
Cypher is a volunteer policeman.
Yeah.
A cop.
They are. They're real. Like, not only are they setting up Cypher as the rival / villain because of this, the opening duel and his general disposition, but also he is a fucking snitch at school.
It's like when people break the law and the cop, you see people, I've seen cops give quotes with like, we know he broke the law. We're going to figure out what the fucking guy that attached 1 billion balloons to his lawn chair and went flying. They arrested him, but they didn't know what crime it was until way later because they weren't sure what he did. They just knew it was illegal. This
whole thing with Cypher is, it kind of contrasts with what I'm used to seeing in like school time Japanese media, where the goody two-shoes class rep is always the stickler for the rules.
Makoto, of course.
Yes, of course. And yeah, she's the cop of that game. But in this case, like the bad guy is the one doing that. It's not the upstanding young gentleman who just wants to have everybody fall in line and whatnot.
I would make an argument that the Makoto is the bad guy, but that's a podcast for another day.
So now we can go talk to some students in the back of the lunch tables, right?
The disciplinary committee then rushes off, and Raijan's thing appears to be saying, every sentence.
Data bayo.
So yeah, the cafeteria has a circular counter on the left side. There's the 2 ladies preparing food and serving as cashiers, which is a health code violation in this state. No one else is here. One lady will say, "No hot dogs today." The other talks about working here for a long time, then talks about how great being young is and how bursts of energy flow through you constantly. At this point, it asks you if you'd like to make an excuse and leave and sneak away, or you can lend her an ear. Well, I lent her an ear, Chris.
Yeah.
She continues on about being young and having a son Squall's age. It asks again, I continue to lend an ear. She says her son isn't as bright as the fucks who go here. Eventually, her son left to go on a journey, which she encouraged. It made her and her husband worry, though, and later she wonders where he is now. Conversation over. Chris, he's at Fisherman's Horizon.
Oh.
You can find him later.
Okay, side quest.
We'll look for him.
Does this game have a lot of these little kind of inane side quests where one character will be talking about another to your memory?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but this was before the time when you could bring up a list of side quests.
Yeah.
They were just arbitrary, so I didn't think of them that way.
I think the fact that they are arbitrary and, I mean, they might yield some reward, but it's not essential. I like it better. I like the way they did these things better where...
The story is the reward.
Yeah, instead of having something to check off my list, it's just something that maybe that happens during the course of the game that feels more natural that way to me.
Speaking of checking shit off lists, of course, the PS4 version I'm playing, and I assume the Xbox version with achievements has trophies.
Oh, good. Well, the Nintendo Switch version does not.
I've got more content than you, son.
Nintendo cannot be asked to do such a thing.
They will in like 2032 or something. You can go one more screen over. It leads to an area with tables and chairs, all of which are populated by static seed students, except for 2 in the background wearing non-standard clothing. You talk to one guy, he says, "Check out this weenie. This guy used to be the cream of the crop. Now look at him. All over one woman." Casual misogyny. If you talk to that guy who's sobbing, he loudly is wondering how to get closer to Kistis.
Yes. These are the guys on the right-hand side, the Treppy fanboys.
These are, I think, identified as Treppy groupies.
Yeah, one of them says he cannot sleep at night thinking of your radiating beauty. This is why I am always falling asleep in class. Oh, how sinful you are?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? How sinful you are? Shouldn't he be saying, how sinful am I?
Dream.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, also sinful, they know that Squall is like her prized pupil for some reason, right? With all the attention that he gets.
Oh, so maybe
like for everyone else, it's a fantasy. Squall gets to commit the sin.
I gotcha. Okay.
He's a date later at the fucking fire cave,
Yeah.
Chris. It's hot in there. You can't talk to the weird people in the back because they don't exist.
Yeah. There's some additional chatter, I think, on the left-hand table with students just talking about how difficult the field exam is. which I think we're just getting some.
You say the one that hasn't happened yet?
Yeah. Well, how difficult they normally are, they can be. You know what I mean? Because in this institution, the exams don't just have a piece of paper to hand out to give you the exam. They have to wait for an armed conflict to emerge.
Yeah, there has to be some, or perhaps they create one. Wink.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we go to the dormitory next. The hallway to get there is long and picturesque. There are green trees and blue skies visible outside. An obscenely long columned hallway is required to get to these dorms. So you get to the dorms and it's just dorm.
Yeah, it really is dorm singular. There's a small room with a breakfast table with bar stools or something.
Yeah, there's shit all over it. 4 bar stools.
Another ficus tree or fern or something.
Safe point.
Yes. There's a room on the left and a room on the right. The room on the left features a bed with a nook in the wall for books and whatnot.
Yes.
I always wanted one of those, by the way.
Built-in bookshelf?
A shelf built into the wall.
Yeah.
Next to your bed, so you could, put your manga there and your, I don't know, what else? Anime DVDs? I don't know. What else did I have in college?
Sports Illustrated for kids.
I didn't read that in college, but okay.
Evangelion VHS.
Dorms are way better now. They all have everyone has their own room. And
really?
The walls aren't cinder blocks.
You don't have to stay with your friend Josh and then your friend Nick, because Nick's roommate sucks.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Fucking Ralph, dude.
And then I sleep on the floor for a week too.
Ralph and his fucking broadsword. Yeah, let's play Tekken Tag. Also, there's a room on the right-hand side. This appears to be Squall's room, right?
Yeah, there's a poster of his Griever keychain, a made bed and a nightstand with a corded phone, and the built-in bookshelf, and then his spare Squall jacket hanging up in the window.
Yeah, it's a sick bomber jacket hanging above the bed. Who hangs their jacket above the bed like that?
Someone who wants to establish their character.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Now, you said poster, but were you referring to that metal case thing that looks like it's sitting there, like it contains a musical instrument?
Oh, is that what that is? I thought it was it's Griever. It's his keychain. That's what it's called, right? But I thought it was like him just, Skull's the type of pretentious artist who sketched his own keychain, then had somebody make his keychain.
To me, it looked like one of those big saxophone transportation black boxes, and I see this as the Gunblade case.
Oh, okay.
And the thing Griever you're talking about, that's like his lion medallion, right?
Yeah, right.
Isn't he like a fanboy of the Griever summon or the Griever monster or something? I think that's an entity in the game that he's
he's become obsessed
got a thing with, he wants to hear its hot sounds all the time or something. I don't know.
Like the people that are obsessed with strange old mammals like Megatherium.
This is obviously, it's not a saxophone case because this is not music school. This is murder school. So it's got to be the Gunblade, right?
Fucking murder school. Chris, what's not here?
Telephone?
No toilet.
No toilet.
No toilet.
Oh, yeah. Where do they shit here?
It's a good question. I'm wondering if anybody shits in this world, because so far we've got 0 toilets.
Is that an official count? We're not doing an official Final Fantasy.
Counting.
You're counting, but
of course I'm
is there
counting.
A noise for it, or are you just counting?
It depends on if there is one. Then I'll spend 9 minutes building a noise, Chris.
Great.
But for first toilet, we have to find a real toilet. Then we can start expanding on, is this fountain a toilet? We have to find one real toilet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because that implies people do use toilets.
Okay, one toilet implies the existence of toilets. Gotcha.
Oh, also, who's Squall's roommate? Does he have one, or does he just have 2 beds? Is he one of those people that's so antisocial they assign him a one person to a 2-person room?
I'm not sure. Later in the game, Selphie is hanging out here, but I'm not sure if she was there looking for Squall.
Yeah, she
lives
is
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Great.
Who knows? It's weird. So next we can go over to the parking lot, right?
Yeah, my favorite room.
Yeah, it's great. In the hallway, there's some students talking about how sick cars are.
Yeah, there's a piss-colored floor and exactly 1 house plant.
Yeah. The kid says, I must say, cars are so convenient. You can go outside and not have to worry about running into monsters, which is a very descriptive thing to tell us about how cars work in this world.
It also tries to convince the jaded 16-year-olds like us that there is a reason for cars and you might like using them. Just try it.
Have cars replaced chocobos? Video game?
That's the fear.
I thought when I did not want to run into a monster, I would hire a chocobo. The chocobos are on strike right now, and the cars are the scabs.
Yes.
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 Cars are cabs.
Yes.
So the parking lot is a single screen except for one motorcycle or something up front. Do you know what that is?
It looked like a pre-rendered old-timey car, partial view of it or something. The cars in this game have weird aesthetics of they're from the 50s, but also from the future.
Yeah, 50s future, like Back to the Future 2 type technology and some of this stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember the Final Fantasy VIII car giveaway advertisement?
Only because you posted it on our Twitter account. I forgot. It was for a Toyota Echo.
Yeah, which
the ugliest car Toyota's made in the last 25 years.
I thought that was pretty funny, given the fact that there was, we've talked about it before, but given the controversial nature of this game looking too futuristic to the gamers on the boards back then, And I thought it was funny that they had a giveaway for a car and not a, I don't know, ostrich.
Well, Chris, as everyone knows, the Echo came out with the MR2 and the redesigned Celica for Toyota's Wave of the Future appeal to the youth.
Oh, thanks, Autocross Eric.
You're welcome. So the training center, of course, has a hallway because everything does. As I enter, Student A and Student B are running away, talking about the infamous monster. They thought they were going to die.
Yes, this is a key point, a key mechanic.
Yeah.
You can die here.
I'm going to have a lot of questions about what we're gonna see here.
Yeah.
So you enter and it cuts to an overhead shot and new music plays. Fear.
Fear.
The title of the track. Vegetation has grown over the walls of this place, and it leads to a mulched out floor in an indoor rainforest.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that
Jurassic Park.
Yes, and that exhibit at the museum in Parasite Eve. Palm trees are everywhere, and each end gives way to a set of Jurassic Park blast doors. This must be where the monsters are, Chris.
Mhm.
So first screen looks pretty safe. Did you go left or did you go right?
I went left,
Okay.
and I encountered some weed fly trap things.
I turned random battles off because I was afraid of being dead.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I remember being eaten alive by the T-Rexaur here.
Yeah. The T-Rex will kill you, by the
Yeah,
way.
uh-huh.
Unless you have Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, and you press the button that lets you just kill it. I tried to just kill the T-Rex when I ran into it. It's called the T-Rexaurs or something.
T-Rexaur.
T-Rexaur.
Here's what it sounds like when it opens the battle. And Chris, here's what it sounds like when you kill it.
Great. The battle music, by the way, is good.
Oh yeah, this is our first actual battle, isn't it?
The battle music is called Force Your Way. Is that what it's
Yes,
called?
we'll play that later because Fear is still playing right now.
Oh, yeah,
while
of
we're
course.
being
Yes,
afraid. Chris.
thank you for playing. So I put battle boosts on and just kept attacking it, and it still wouldn't die.
Great.
So I just left. I ran away. What's the purpose of this area?
To train. When I was young, I stayed here forever before I ever got out and actually got anywhere in this game. Like I wanted to train myself up and be awesome, unknown to the fact that leveling yourself up kind of works against you in this game, or it can work against you.
Yeah,
Because this is an RPG, Chris. What else is there to do except for fight and grind?
that's what you have to do. No, please subvert.
The monsters level with you, and grinding is not a great idea. So you say you went left?
Mm-hmm.
The left screen exposes the metal flooring that the rest of the training center is built on. There are two groups of 3 yellow caution blockades cautioning the player from nothing. The right side has a giant fallen tree that has crashed through the metal protective fence and seemingly brought down the large red steel girders.
That's how the T-Rex got out.
Yeah, I mean, is the T-Rex kept in here for special occasions, or was it like a thing, like a scary thing to show that, like, oh, if you fuck up, we're going to feed you to the T-Rex?
I have a lot of questions as well.
Yeah, like, what is this for? Like, the rest of the garden is this immaculate area. Why is this area so dangerous and shitty? The next screen from that is more palm trees, a bunch of boulders, and a save point. And also, there's a north exit that we can't seem to access right now.
Yeah, it's just like those blast door looking things, right?
Yeah, there's like an open yellow hallway back there.
Yeah. But not much else to do here, really. Just wander around and you can fight some giant weeds or fight the T-Rex. There's not really much of a benefit to doing this at this point in the game, I don't think. It may have been more interesting if they would have tutorialized this section maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Like, you can actually go here, I think, before any significant tutorials. I like that you said giant weeds. I think they're called, like, gats or gnats or something like that.
Anything else there?
The final screen has a kind of shitty bridge that is just 3 wire grates laid on top of some steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has 4 wooden tables floating in water, all providing access to a small land island. For some reason, there's a palm tree coming up out of the water and a draw point. But at this point, I didn't grab my summons, so I couldn't use the draw point because I couldn't assign myself draw.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to do it at this point in time because this was one of the first places I went. Expecting a tutorial, but I did not receive one.
Nope. And that's all I got for the training area.
Next, we go to the library. There's a walkway on the way, and the library is being guarded by this like mystically dressed person in robe and a giant hat.
I've got Raiden's Mortal Kombat 2 uniform and a priest robe.
Yeah, that's a really good description of it. Actually, I thought it was going to be like garden wizard or something, but it was actually just a faculty member.
It's faculty. They're wearing uniforms.
So do teachers, instructors just wear regular clothes and the higher faculty wear these creepy robes?
Well, so far we've only seen one instructor, Kistis, who's obviously chosen her own dress. And I don't think we're going to see another one because this isn't that kind of video game.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a good question, Chris. Again, I defaulted the answer of why Squall and Cypher are dressed differently. It's because they're main characters.
Yes. But these uniforms, these robes, they give off a vibe of there's something unsettling. Like it feels like somebody's about to perform a ritual.
Yeah, they look like acolytes.
Yeah. Acolytes, that's a good way to describe them. So this person, when you speak with them, they recognize Squall as the problem child with a seed exam today. This person's just pissed that we're making an instructor Trep wait. Trepe, we didn't...
It's whatever your heart says.
Trep,
we can be
Trep.
inconsistent, it's fine.
Okay.
They also identify Squall as student number 41269. Chris, what is most significant about that?
69?
That's right.
Okay.
Ding noise.
Great.
Matt, I've got a great idea for a podcast. You and me, we watch movies, right? And some of them are kind of bad, and so we make fun of them. But maybe some of them are good.
Chris, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And eat snacks. Movie Fighters, an original idea on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Take a time machine back to before the world went to hell, around the year 2000.
The 80s and 90s were so rad. The movies, the music, the TV, the games, that's what I want to talk about.
If you're cool enough,
Join us and listen to Less Than 2000, because that's all we talk about.
Adam and Chad live less than 2000.
So, fuck this guy. Let's go to the library. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go inside and we speak with Library Girl with Pigtail.
Yes.
Which is actually her name, right? In the thing.
Girl with Pigtail. Singular.
Yeah, she tells us that the following is prohibited: talking loudly, eating and drinking, running around. Also says avoid late returns and no fighting over seats.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Those are great things to know.
She has two screens, both scrolling matrix screen information.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also with her hands behind her back and she's shuffling around nervously. Chris, this is because she has a crush on Zell. We'll find more about that later.
Oh, yeah. Remember the librarian was commenting on Zell's posts on there.
And she must know that Squall knows Zell, a.k.a. saw him for the first time in the cafeteria 5 minutes ago.
We've been all up in her likes on her Twitter page.
That's right. Yeah, like liking everything she posts.
Yeah, yeah. So
aggressive male behavior.
There's also this random student that is standing next to this large, like, oaken-looking structure. I don't know what it is. It looks like a coffin on the wall.
Bookshelf is what you're thinking of?
There's no books on it. It just looks like a cabinet.
Okay.
A coffin cabinet.
Coffin cabinet.
Alucard's in there. Anyway, he's got a question for us, which is a really good question.
Uh-huh.
It says Eshtar. Is that what we say? Eshtar? Esther?
I said Esther as far as what it's supposed to
Eshtar.
be. Dude, I've fucking given up.
Eshtar.
Just automatically assume that at least me pronounces everything incorrectly as a bit.
Okay. Eshtar was a country that was governed by this evil sorceress way back when, right?
10 years ago.
So, what happened to this sorceress? And this dude says he's suspicious, but also he says he has no idea what happened because he cut class today.
I was going to say, are we supposed to learn this in class?
Yeah, well, that's I guess so, because at first he's like implying that there's this conspiracy, and then he's like, well, maybe I just fucking don't know because I don't pay attention in class. Mm-hmm. It is weird, but we are starting to get some hints about the structure of this world and the questions that people don't want to answer throughout the way. Also, there's a girl near the bookshelf. She wishes they had some good books here, like romance novels. You know, like porn. There's also a draw point in here, but I can't draw anything because I
had draw at this point. It was Asuna.
Oh, thanks. That's like a remedy type thing, right?
Yeah. What's interesting about that screen is that like it zooms in to that exact part of the screen.
Yeah.
Like it changes the camera angle. Like it's an important thing. But it's just another screen with a guy crouched down.
Yeah.
Did you get the Occult Fan #1 out of that bookshelf?
No, I didn't.
It is a magazine. I recommend you go and get it. It's on the line between the wide shot and the zoomed in shot, and I kept going between it multiple times to try to get this thing.
Yeah.
So the back screen leads to an area with a bunch of oak desks and lamps, a study area, if you will. There are two people here.
Yeah. One is a faculty member that is freaking the fuck out because the desks aren't squeaky clean. This guy goes on and on about how he hates young people.
I don't think I had that guy.
There's two different scenes here, I think. Okay. Yeah, so I've seen them both, but I think I only have one noted. So on the other side, there are two students off to the side. They're gossiping about a murder mystery book.
Oh, hell yeah.
The girl recommends another one at the end of their conversation, and if you check back in after the initial dialogue back, she accidentally tells the other kid that the narrator was actually the killer.
Oh, man. Agatha Christie, in-universe author.
Yes.
I have one. A girl says she saved a seat, but her study partner never showed. He's going to get into trouble if he doesn't come back soon. And there's a guy next to her. All he does is stretch and make a weird noise and worry about being the only one taking a makeup test. I'm like, dude, this is your opportunity to be her study partner.
Yeah.
Make friends.
Yeah.
She's clearly wanting someone to study with so she doesn't get in trouble.
We want this to happen. So will this arc ever be solved? Who knows? Tune into the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia.
School days.
Yes.
So I get the hell out of here. Chris, are you ready to go meet Kistis?
Yeah, let's head to the front gate. As we go towards the front gate, we have to go through the turnstiles.
Yeah.
There's an old man in there.
It has an exit like an amusement park.
Yeah.
He's in red. He has a red hat, and he's monitoring this place.
It's not an exit like the amusement park. It's an exit like Nerve HQ.
Yes.
Scan your card.
Be in there.
This old guy is jabbering about how he loves to scold young people or something.
Disciplined troublemakers.
Yes. He's been here since the garden opened. He's been working here since his mama was a baby.
It exits to a big black parking lot drop-off zone. This exits to a huge set of steps like we're walking into Disney World.
Yeah.
Also a really neat parallax effect where the background and foreground shift to different levels.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awkward by today's standards, but pre-rendered background games didn't do this a whole bunch.
I love parallax scrolling. I don't care the context.
It's wonderful.
Give it all to me. So there's a wide road leading to the outside. There's a dude there kind of hanging at the overlook area, catching the breeze, he says.
Mm-hmm. Is this where the twin flowing waterfalls, plants, and weird architecture leads to a front gate, and there are twin fucking gargoyles on the gate?
Yes, duly noted. We've talked about how this place is presenting outwardly as this like angelic, friendly place, despite the fact they are programming children to do war. Yet at the entrance, there are two giant fucking gargoyles just reminding us this is what we're all about really here.
I mean, there's stuff like that is kind of grandfathered into schools. Like the high school Chris and I went to is pretty old, and there was some shit like that. I mean, not that old, but there is some shit like that floating around out there. So Kistis is at the front gate. She's now wearing a pink suit, which is her video game clothes, with her arms crossed. My game clock says 3 hours. I hope she isn't mad about waiting.
Yeah, she doesn't. She does actually kind of seem mad because she doesn't even greet us.
Yeah,
she just immediately tells us that she has a few things to explain.
It's all about business
before we head off. One of these things is about the GFs, Eric. GFs, you know what they do?
Girlfriend.
They give us strength. Well, I guess girlfriends can give us strength. So can guardian forces as well. Kistis says the stronger the GF, the stronger we become. Also true about girlfriends, I think. She then proceeds to explain to us how to use junction. Capital J junction.
My desk already did this.
Your desk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I've already read my computer desk.
I studied.
Guys. Junction enables characters to power up and use abilities. This means a GF must be junctioned to power up and use abilities. That's what I just said.
When I was 16, this was like, whatever, let's go.
Yeah, I remember Xing through this one pretty quickly and not understanding this until I had got a PlayStation 2 and picked this game back up.
It tries to make you do it, but it's just so overwhelming at this point in time.
Yeah.
And so different than anything I was used to that it was incomprehensible.
I think it's actually quite simple. Nowadays, it's in essence you are equipping items, and those items allow you to customize various features. I mean, it's like modding a fucking car in Gran Turismo, kind of.
A little bit, but you have to unlock the stats that you're allowed to modify by the guardian forces that are attached to your character.
Yes. So the next thing she does is she teaches us how to do this, how to junction a GF to ourself. It seems like at this point in time, I was still kind of muddy on what these things did. So at this point, I started to understand that there are various buffs associated with it. But like you said, you have to unlock them via experience points or AP, actually.
I didn't know what the word buffs meant at this point.
Buff?
I mean, I now I know. But when I was 16, I was like, buff? What, Bagwell? What are you talking about?
Did they use the word buff in the game?
No, you just did. That's what
okay. Yeah. I want to make sure that I was not hallucinating. So next, she also tells you that you can attach magic to the various abilities that the GF unlocks. So you can attach attack magic to your attack stat and then increase that stat. And
it helps if it's
so
contextually sensitive, like if you put haste on speed.
Yes, exactly. Then we can attach abilities to the various open slots. In this case, Kistis selects Draw, GF, and Item.
Yes, you can customize your battle menu. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was a first for Final Fantasy. If you kind of throw out the class change stuff from Final Fantasy V,
you have to make some tough choices. Like GF, do you want GF, Item, Draw? You can't have them all. You can only, it's like pick 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
You have to have attack.
She suggests that we draw some magic from our enemies, so she wants us to make sure that we take that with us.
Kistis joins your party, victory music.
Yay.
Chris, you know how much HP Kistis have?
69.
420.
420. Yes, that was my next guess.
The sex number.
Yes.
She will give you Quetzalcoatl and Shiva if you didn't get them from your desk.
Well, I got them from my desk. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So, we're off to the Fire Cavern. She tells us that it's in the east.
We're off to the world map.
Yeah, let's go to the world map.
Chris, Blue Fields plays.
Yes, Blue Fields is a very interesting song in the lineage of Final Fantasy.
It's so weird.
It is the least world map music in Final Fantasy, or maybe in even RPGs up to this point.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't evoke that feeling of exploration and adventure and hopefulness and whatnot.
It feels like someone was doing a chemistry experiment and translated it to music.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Like a light, airy kind of sampling.
Yeah, a bit of a somber feel to it, kind of.
I hated it.
Yeah, I did too.
When I was a kid. Like, for some reason, this version appears cleaned up, but it always felt like the original PlayStation version had like a low sample rate, like when you stole an MP3 from Napster and it was like at 32 kbps, like a really bad sounding thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like it now because it's so weird and I appreciate songs that don't sound like every other song, but at the time, this was a bold choice.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Chris, we're at the world map. What's the weirdest thing about player control on the world map?
You can't move the camera?
L1 and R1 move the camera.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't think to do that because...
Right stick integration was not complete yet. I think there's also multiple perspectives you can get with the select button.
Yeah, like the kind of the...
I don't know what the hell you do on a Switch because it doesn't have a select button, but good luck, buddy.
It's got a minus button.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, that kind of plays there. So, did you do anything out here on the world map before we...
I went into the forest. I wanted to draw some spells. So I could junction some shit, as my instructor said.
Yeah, me too. I got out there and started getting a few magic spells, some cure spells and whatnot. The first thing I ran into is this is before I knew that the monsters' names were available, but this like abstract deep sea looking fish thing. Did you run into one of these guys?
Negative.
Anyway, I did some drawing, and as I was beginning to draw magic from creatures, the draw sound effect awakened something within me that made me start remembering how this game works, how this game functions, how this game junctions, if you will.
Yeah, the draw sound effect is incredibly good.
Yeah, it is. There was something in an interview about the concept of draw that I thought was pretty interesting. Hiroyuki Ito, the battle director, he said this about the concept of draw. Said, if the magic is something you acquire by junctioning, then the whole concept of MP doesn't make much sense. Likewise, buying magic in a store doesn't make sense either. Magic isn't a thing, right? ? That line of thought led me to the draw mechanic. I like the lore it suggests to players that the reason you draw magic from monsters is that all living creatures are composed in some way of different elemental substances. And...
shit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they made that answer up after they decided to implement draw, or if that was the reason for it. But draw was, as we've talked about thus far, draw was such a divisive mechanic, but at this point, I'm really enjoying the systemic nature of it, like how it's implemented into the game, what it implies. Magic isn't this infinite energy source like it is in other games where you can refill your calories and have more magic, or buy a book and learn magic. There's a specific hierarchy in the world where magic is drawn from these substances that make up life.
And then stocked.
And then stocked. And there's this like limited economy of magic, I think. Or can you draw infinitely from monsters?
You can up to 100.
Up to 100. Okay, so there is a limited economy of magic, but it's all based on like the life stream, so to speak.
It all feels primitive. Like magic is relatively new in this world, and it feels like they'll refine it and like make it into like materia, for example, or some shit later.
Yeah, that's a really
right
good
now,
point.
like in universe, it feels like very 1.0 technology.
Do you remember how you got magic in Final Fantasy?
The original?
Yeah.
Never played it.
That's weird.
I have it on PSP.
You should play it.
And PS1.
I wouldn't say you should
and
play
NES.
it all the way through if you're not feeling like going through the grind, but you should play it.
Dawn of Souls.
You get magic in that game by buying it at a store. You buy the spell, and then you have the spell, and then you have...
Draw it from a store and stock it in your inventory.
You draw it from a store, and then you stock it in your inventory, and then you... Yeah, but it is a... It is still based on MP, though.
While we're talking about battles, in which Don't Be Afraid plays, by the way, can we talk about how cool the transition screen is, where it wipes from left to right rather than swirling or breaking apart or anything?
Yeah, it is really great.
It's a great transition.
Yeah.
Limited amount of time before people do their wind-up animations for the actual battle, too.
Yeah.
I fought some bite bugs. I drew a bunch of fire and scan out of those things.
Yeah, they hung out with the large caterpillar man in some cases. I forgot that guy's name.
Caterpillar. Caterpillars sound like this when they come out. And this when they die. Chris.
Cool.
Bite bugs sound like this when they come out.
Yeah.
And this when they die.
Cool.
They all have death animations. They don't just evaporate. Somebody had to work on that shit for like 100 monsters.
Did at any point during your battles here, did Kistis chime in and remind us how to use a gunblade?
Hell yeah, dude.
Which is what? Press R1?
At the moment of impact?
Yeah.
I'd had that nailed on my PS1 controller, but I had to relearn it on my PS5 controller. How's your gunblade transition?
It's pretty good. I thought that there was a rumble associated with that, but I'm not getting any rumble.
There was.
Do you have to turn rumble on?
I don't know about your playing Final Fantasy on a Nintendo console. That seems fucked up.
Does my Pro Controller not have HD rumble, or does Final Fantasy VIII Remastered not support HD rumble? I want HD rumble. I want haptic feedback.
I've got standard rumble in my
I want my controller to rub my back every time I hit the gunblade action.
I remember when there was an app. Never mind.
I think I know where you're going. I'm glad you stopped.
No, okay, I'm gonna keep going then. Like, there's an independent, really, when Xbox 360 had an independent game thing where you could upload your own games.
Yeah.
For a small price, like I don't know what it was called, but someone uploaded just like press button to make controller vibrate game.
Yeah.
Like it was wink wink sex toy assist game.
Wonderful.
Great, thanks. So one more thing about battles. After you fight one, it says couldn't find any items. I wasn't looking for any items, Chris.
After you fight one?
Yeah, after you fight a battle in like the victory screen.
Oh, yeah.
You don't find any items. It says you can't find any items. Also, there's T-Rexaurs in the goddamn forest next to Garden. I guess where they captured that thing.
I thought they captured them from Final Fantasy VI Dinosaur Forest.
Mm-hmm. So, Fire Cave.
Yeah, Fire Cave. Let's go. Squall plus Kistis. Let's roll. We should also note that Kistis has a whip. Mm-hmm. And her whip animation feels good and familiar to me.
The whip sound effects also sound good.
And familiar to me. So
it opens with a screen with a volcanic road. The entrance is guarded by 2 garden faculty members.
Yeah, the music doesn't change yet either. We're still in blue fields.
That's right. The faculty talks weird. They say to obtain a low-level GF, a seed member must support. I tell them I am ready. Kistis identifies as Squall support, and they call her Instructor No 14. They both touch their left shoulder with their right fist. That's in the Simpsons episode where Kodos and Kang become Bob Dole and Bill Clinton. That's how they signal each other is
okay, gotcha.
left shoulder, right fist thing. So you can pick the allotted time to do this in, Chris. 10, 20, 30, or 40 minutes.
Yeah, what's the point of this?
How close you nail your allotted time, I think, affects your score on your exam.
Oh, okay. I chose 20.
I chose 10.
Oh, good.
Fuck it, dude.
I don't remember how long this was. So we also get some more tutorials, right?
Yeah, she talks about junctioning some more.
Yeah, and then she tells us how to use Squall's limit break.
Uh-huh.
Renzokuken.
Yes. Which is just mash R1 in this rhythm mini game before you've played a rhythm mini game.
Yes, exactly. And occasionally, I think that increases the damage and increases the chance that the follow-up hit will occur.
Yeah. I want to say it's excessive too. It does a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, there's no real way to know when you're going to trigger these things.
Oh, sure there is in this version. You click the right analog stick.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I remember limits being mystifying as far as they would just like happen sometimes. Like there's an invisible meter, right?
They were in Final Fantasy VI, and they would just occasionally pop when you used a physical attack when you had low health, but there was never any indication that a limit break was going to occur. And that game, you don't use physical attacks very often unless you build a character a specific way. So they were very, very rare in that game.
I want to say there's like a spell called Meltdown and Inferno that you can juice them out of yourself later. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there is some finagling you can do with that kind of stuff. And I think it's all pretty good because everybody has a pretty interesting, unique limit break in this game. And Squall's is pretty fun to use as well.
Chris, inside the cave, new music. Yeah. Find Your Way plays.
Oh, yeah, let's find our way.
As soon as we enter, Kistis will say she will support Squall in battle and nothing else.
Yeah.
Good. Squall, unprompted, she then says, the boys often choke on this test when I come with them. I guess my charm makes them nervous.
That's her just saying, hey, Squall, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm hot.
Mm-hmm. Squall, whatever's that, of course. And she counters with, I'm just kidding. Trying to keep you relaxed, that's all. Chris, in the English version, when Kistis jokes that her presence at the test makes boys nervous, Squall says whatever. In the Japanese version, you know what he says?
That's cool.
You're a teacher.
That's a way better response.
Yeah.
He
gives it back to her finally in the Japanese version.
I know that there are a lot of there's a lot of pushback on Squall as a character from people. Like a lot of people don't like Squall, and that lowers the quality of this game for a lot of people, which is understandable. But that line right there, that might have saved a lot of people.
Like it's there's a small arc of her teasing him for an entire hour, and then finally, as part of his character arc in beating this boss, he also beats Kistis in a word game.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Hey, I hope you like lava floors on top of brisk intervolcano mountain paths.
Yeah, we're definitely in a fire cavern, by the way.
Yeah.
This place is
Fire Cavern as Fire Cavern.
Volcanic biome looking place.
The final screen with its rapidly flowing lava up to its terminus is a fucking sight to behold and must have looked amazing in 1999.
Yeah, it does look great. Any monsters before that you encountered here that you enjoyed?
Yes. There were 3 of them. First off is the Buell. Here's what it sounds like when it comes out. And when it dies, thanks. It's a rotating demon thing, hell face in the center with 2 layers of tri-wheel rotating wing shells.
I love the way this thing animates.
Yeah, it's like a kaleidoscope of organic crap.
It's kind of unsettling because If this thing is a flesh-based creature, then it shouldn't work like that.
No.
Like, you can't...
You can have moving parts.
Like, you cannot make a pinwheel out of flesh, but
No,
it's happening here.
not today.
With multiple sets of wings.
You can draw Blizzard from it, as funny as that is.
Yeah.
There's also red bats. Oh, here's what they sound like when they come out, Chris. And when you kill them. Chris, you know what a red bat is?
A red bat?
Yeah, it's got a purple body, though.
Oh, weird. So...
Also, finally...
Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bomb is a classic Final Fantasy monster.
I love bombs. They're so angry and so nefarious.
Yeah, I'm glad that they've kind of slowly over the years have become a kind of like sub mascot of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they're definitely, they're not first tier, but they're second tier. Like first tier, you've got Cactuar, Tonberry, shit like that.
Yeah, it's not like the slime of Final Fantasy, but it's the...
Nothing is the slime, Chris. The slime is the best monster ever made.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there.
So finally, the final floor. It concludes in a smoking hole, a screaming hole.
Yeah.
Kistis will say that Squall looks confident enough. Then steam shoots out the hole, then rocks, then light, then Ifrit flies up out of this thing. Boss music, Force Your Way, plays.
Ah, so we found our way and now we're forcing our way.
Is there a dialogue before any of this, or do you just go right into battle?
Okay, so when you get to the long land bridge that leads to the boss of this area, they kind of stop for a second, and Kistis tells Squall that she was right. She says, quote, "You and Cypher are in a class of your own. You both have amazing strength and potential."
We do assume that Kistis has also brought Cypher here, wink wink?
I guess so. I mean, she does bring a lot of the boys here.
She does.
You know?
Yeah.
She did. Fucking goddamn it.
Inappropriate relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
more inappropriate.
Just because he's under 18. If it was over, there's a power dynamic there.
No, yeah. There's even if the ages were upscaled a little bit, there would still be the power dynamics at play here. So
put Kistis in jail.
Yeah. We approach the end of this island, and she asks Squall if he's ready. Squall doesn't say anything, but he emotes slightly as Kistis also notes his confidence.
And then Ifrit says, "You are not ready."
Yes, and when this thing first emerged, my Final Fantasy senses served me correctly, noting that this was Ifrit. Ifrit is a classic Final Fantasy summon. Has been around for quite some time, ever since summons were around, I think.
Usually, somebody on a big fire rock throws it at people. Very, very fireman.
Yeah, according to the internet's Wikipedia, Ifrit, also spelled as Ifrit, Afrit. According to Wikipedia, Ifrit is a powerful type of demon in Islamic mythology. The Ifrit are often associated with the underworld and also identified with the spirits
within.
Of the dead. They get the spirits within. At some point, this guy, during the middle of the battle, as we're fighting him, he will call us impudent humans and then punch us.
Yeah.
What, does he cast fire on us occasionally?
Yeah, some kind of fire shit.
Yeah. This is a quick kind of tutorial boss battle.
Yeah, I kind of owned him.
Yeah, it didn't take very long to take him out. Obviously,
there's no real ceremony to his defeat.
No, he just kind of stands there, which is kind of interesting. He can't believe this shit.
No.
Like, even though it seems like Kistis brings seed candidates here all the time to fight him.
That's my question. Like, you get him as a guardian force, but is there like an Ifrit factory that's like prestiging Christian Bale, prestiging one of these fuckers out every single time, or like what?
Yeah, I'm curious if this is like does
everyone get their own Ifrit? Is Ifrit a participation trophy?
I think there's only one Ifrit. And I think that by defeating him in combat, we are creating a contract with him.
Well, yeah, but then how can people all over the world use him? Is that why there's like a 5-minute wait time before Ifrit shows up?
Yeah, I think so. And
you are queued for Ifrit.
I mean, he may be able to
battle.
He may be able to split his services across multiple people, but this may not just be a contract. It may not be a two-way contract. It may just be that we are enslaving Ifrit right now.
Okay,
because
perfect.
There's no indication on whether or not the GFs benefit from this. Like, are they sentient, or are they simply just these spirits of the earth? Are
spirits within?
Yes, of course. Are they designed to rule nature or to be exploited by humans, or both?
You also get 20 AP and the option to rename him, and most importantly, the Ifrit card.
Yes, the Ifrit card is very good. So, I love the idea of humans making contracts with monsters.
Yeah, I've played Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, this is a popular concept in a lot of Japanese media. There's several manga that are running right now that deal with these concepts, and I've never really thought about it from the perspective of Final Fantasy, but this seems to be the first one where there is some sort of relationship between the existence of a GF and the flow of energy through the world. I think it's very interesting.
I mean, if you like humans making contract with monsters, raise your hand if you work for a corporation, son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
hey, what's up?
Great. Thanks, guy, people. And
Chris, if you want to get the best score in the exam, you beat Ifrit with 3 seconds left.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
I didn't either. I got a score on the exam. It's pretty good. Okay, let's check in with the afternoon RealNet. This was a huge RealNet tonight. A lot of people attended. I figured we would not have very many, but,
Got to vary the times up. It'd probably a different crowd.
Workday.
What else are you going to do at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time on what is this, Thursday?
Initializing RealNet.
John Doe says, can the fake net get high?
Fake net?
Initializing fake net.
I can get high enough to drop these two fuckers like rocks off a cliff.
Thanks, fake net.
Why would you thank me for that?
So, Denty has a bonus episode idea discussing the character is dead theory and tearing it apart.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll put that one on the list because we don't have a very big list for Final Fantasy VIII bonus content yet, but we are definitely going to be doing some stuff.
I was sad that someone actually asked someone on the staff if that theory was valid and they shot it down because it killed the mystery.
Yeah, yeah. Denty says that Raijin always reminded me of Waka. Maybe because
quick to anger, but maybe less racist.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't tell Waka about Yuna's lineage. The thing about Waka, he never had much love for the Albed.
Those sandblasted grease monkeys.
Yeah, that's been another thing that I've discovered in my latter years, that Waka was a huge racist.
Oh, I got that at the time. That's something I was perceptive, but I didn't play it until 2003, so I was a little bit older at that point. But yeah, he's no good stinking Albed. Yeah, it's like, okay, man, Albed, right, I see you, wink.
Yeah. John Doe says maybe the black box in Squall's room is a shit box.
We preserves his turds in there.
We cannot confirm.
We do not assign toilets until a toilet is brought into the world.
Yes. John Doe says Child Soldier School is already kind of a bad look, but Sid put a fucking Jurassic Park in there and leaves the door unlocked.
Yeah. The only room you can access anytime. Way to go. And population thinning.
J question mark says grinding is a huge one in this game. Grinding draws and cards to grind into magic stock, but not experience points.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a different way you have to do things. Zephid7 says, who doesn't have a crush on Zell? We'll get to Zell next episode, but I think I have a crush on Zell.
I've got some observations about Zell I'll share on the next episode.
Okay. Zephid7 says, Balamb Garden stories when your high school's training you for war crimes. Which is
given the person that was in your class at your high school who was Mitch McConnell's protege judge, I'm pretty sure you can make that connection pretty easily to most high schools.
Yeah. J question mark says, this is such a massive departure from Final Fantasy VII. It's hard to transition from one to the other as a dumb teenager. In terms of the way this game starts off.
So you hit the brakes and hit your face on the dashboard.
It does feel so slow and subdued, but like when we're looking at it now, you're like, whoa, there's some shit going on here behind the scenes. Yeah, they really did go for it. It just isn't quite in the forefront. Like no one's jumping off the top of a train, so you don't see it when you're younger, but it's there.
And this one, the train jumps off of you, right?
Yeah, kind of true. Speaking of the way this game opens up, Cliff Racer says another advantage to putting the landing before the first school sequence is that the player would be able to see/use a configured character before having to do it themselves.
Yeah,
well, which is true. In this case, I guess they just assumed that you played the demo because the demo had configured characters. You couldn't change the stuff in the demo. Yeah. On that same note, Cliff Racer says that Cloud starts with the reactor ready with materia already equipped. So you kind of have a...
Yeah, you've got Bolt and Cure, I think.
Yeah,
right?
You don't have a blank slate to figure it out.
Good Dana Carvey movie.
Let's see. Some discussions about Trance Vibrator.
Oh, for Rez, the Trance Vibrator? Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of video game shit, but I don't have a Trance Vibrator, and I want to just cover myself in them and play Rez. Fucking shit. And I think in Res HD, you could use XS 360 controllers as Trance Vibrators and position them around yourself with duct tape.
John Doe says that Ifrit has special dialogue if you blast him with Shiva, which now I'm kind of remembering.
I did blast him with Shiva in mine.
Oh, did you get...
I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I didn't take notes during this point because I was trying to beat that clock.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't have GF. I didn't have the command equipped. I just had Draw and Magic. I just used Blizzards. Shy Guy 32 says, I like to imagine after beating him, Ifrit just gives you the triple trihead card, like just hands it to you.
Here,
take
this.
John Doe says, like it must be his business card.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, great.
That's a good way to think about those things.
Yeah. Okay, thanks RealNet for joining us. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on May the 6th, 2021. Thanks, Mark, for the music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod or at retrogradeamnesia.com. If you like us, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, voting rights, all that good stuff. Email us at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, Eric.
Yes, who will kill God?
And now you may go back to the dormitory and shit in your box. All right, we are live. Fuck it. Do it live. Yeah, open it now. Oh, that's a good one.
Nice and crisp. Let's see what Berry Blitz tastes like. Indistinguishable.
I bought a fern today.
Congratulations, by the way. Did you pay 29 or 14?
14. I bought a smaller
Good.
one.
Well, there were some confusion on the ferns today.
Oh, great. Well, I bought a fern. I wasn't planning on buying a fern. I was planning on buying some sort of plant for our new sunroom that is not built yet. But it is a Kimberly fern. So I'm going to name the fern Face Kim.
Great.
Yeah, that's the name of my fern.
I'm glad you named the plants. I named Tiffany's plants and she doesn't like it.
Face Kim or Ferns Kim?
Ferns Kim.
Okay.
Definitely Ferns Kim.
All right.
Need the apostrophe in there. Selphie continues to pester. That's funny. I just unlocked, I just rewrote a 16-year-old memory in your brain. So the dining area, only part of which is visible, looks just like the massive daylit cafeteria at the SAC at the University of Louisville. I already said that. Delete this.
Okay. Done. Wake up and play Tekken Tag. Let's watch Josh play Lunar and then listen to him talk in his sleep about random battles in Lunar. That's what college is all about, right?
I know what that quote is.
It's not going to play in the podcast.
No, I'm going to go ahead and explain it. We were talking to a guy at our old job about books, and he said, I like romance, like porn.
2020.
You got to do that again.
May 6th.
I don't know what that was, but that wasn't a number.